They're confined to camps against their will. Unlike Rohingya Muslims who fled to Bangladesh last year, they are still in Myanmar, displaced by violence 6 years ago, to just down the road from where they lived. The youngest have known no other way of life. We reached the Tekapin camp just before sunset on a trip organized by the Ministry of Information. All we got were glimpses. We came here straight from the airport. It's an internally displaced camp not far from Sittwe, where thousands of people live. I spoke to quite a few women who said that they have great need here. We don't have any support for health care, she says. Even going to the hospital, we have to pay ourselves. More than 130,000 forgotten, and like most other Rohingya Muslims, denied citizenship and freedom of movement.
Very important. No freedom. Very, please, important, please, freedom.
The government says it plans to close the camps, but a constant question meantime is how to help without helping entrench the segregation.
I have been to Congo, to Chad, to Mali, places where there are huge humanitarian responses, where you see malnutrition. But I've actually never seen anything like I've seen in these camps.
Pierre Perron has been going to Rakhine for 5 years for the UN's Humanitarian Coordination Office.
There's really a loss of hope for a lot of these people because they are waiting in this camp and they're not able to try to restart their lives. They're not able to try to go work. Their kids can't go to school. And really they're in the kind of this limbo where they're waiting to be able to go home and unable to go home.
Forgotten too in the events of the past year, an estimated 500,000 Rohingya Muslims who stayed in their homes in Rakhine State, a neglected region that's still tense and poor. Most aid was cut off last year.
I'm concerned that there's a hidden humanitarian crisis happening that we're unable to measure.
Last month, Myanmar allowed in some UN workers to try to assess those needs. The UNHCR says all communities are increasingly vulnerable, finding it hard to put food on the table. And that fear and mistrust are also getting in the way of moving on. In Shwezar village, ministry officials told us different ethnic groups live peacefully. On both sides, they duly confirmed that. But it didn't take long for the fear and mistrust to surface. A man looking for his cow recently was killed, says this Rakhine Buddhist resident. So we are worried. On the Muslim side, one man pointed out they don't have citizenship. How can we be happy if we're not equal, he asked. The UNHCR says the situation is so dire here that even now people are still leaving. And all this stands as constant warning to anyone who left, even thinking about coming back. Nal Ayed, CBC News, near Sittwe, Myanmar.